Thank you very much, Mr. Williams. And a pleasant good evening to everyone viewing and listening today's briefing. Now, it has been more than a year now since we have been coming to you and educating you and informing you and updating you on this pandemic. It is our strong belief that given the facts, all of us would respond appropriately in this time of national crisis. Now, it is pleasing for me to say that having been providing you with the facts, you have been responding. You have been informed based on scientific evidence provided to us by our medical experts, which tells us that the vaccines are safe and effective, and that it is our best defense against the deadly virus. You responded appropriately and in a timely manner, and in just over 3 short months since our vaccine rollout, as of Saturday, the 5th of June, I am happy to report that 21,066 adults over the age of 18 have rolled up their sleeves and got vaccinated. This represents 63.8% of our target population. I am also happy to report that we have had 8,562 adults who are fully vaccinated. These numbers continue to climb daily, and I am certain that by the end of today, we'll be much further along. This is a major accomplishment by all standards. The Ministry of Health, through a well-informed and comprehensive vaccine education program, was able to bring the majority of the country on board, as the figures for the vaccine coverage demonstrate. We will continue to educate and inform so that all who can take the vaccine will voluntarily come forward and be immunized. This is not just to protect yourself, but all who are depending on you for protection. I must remind you, we are in the middle of a pandemic, and we are not immune to the ravages of this deadly virus, although we have been spared some. Like every other country around the globe, we are now in community spread. This we knew was inevitable, but we made sure we were prepared. The evidence has shown that the vaccine works, and right now, it is the main tool we have in the fight to get us back to some sense of normalcy. Our high vaccine coverage will give us the protection needed to prevent an overwhelming of our health system. Many countries around the globe went into community spread with mounting cases and deaths and had to vaccinate themselves out of the crisis. We are fortunate that we are able to have a very high vaccination coverage before going into community spread. The science tells us that this high vaccination coverage will protect us. With our robust contact tracing and testing program, we will continue to identify any positive cases and have them isolated, and quarantine any significant contacts of these positive cases to contain the spread and bring community clusters to an end. To date, we have a total of 94 confirmed cases, with 53 fully recovered. Since the community outbreak, on May 19th, there have been a total of 49 cases, including 8 additional cases on Saturday and 3 on Sunday, making it 11 cases over the last 48 hours. This finding of these positive cases and these findings of these positive cases and their isolation is a testament to the success of our contact tracing program. Left undetected, they would lead to widespread viral transmission across the Federation. Of significance is that although we are in the middle of a community outbreak, we have been able to keep our percentage positivity very low. What do you mean, you may ask? The percentage positivity, simply put, is the percentage of all coronavirus tests performed that is actually positive. It gives us, in public health, the measure of the current level of viral transmission in the community. The higher the percent positivity, the more concerning the situation. The critical level, which will cause concern for us, is a percentage positivity of 5%. The World Health Organization recommends that the percentage positivity should remain below 5% for at least 2 weeks before relaxation of restrictive measures and considering reopening. Since the outbreak of community spread, we have performed a total of 4,105 tests with 49 positive cases, giving us a percentage positivity rate of 1.19%. That is a positivity percentage rate of 1.19%. This is way below the 5% threshold and is actually some good news. At the height of the outbreak of the pandemic in the United States, some states like Mississippi, Nevada, and Florida had percent positive levels higher than 15%, far above this cutoff of 5%. Through vaccination, along with the use of the non-pharmaceuticals, they were able to halt the spread of the virus and bring things under control. Now, the Ministry of Health will continue to expand our web of testing so that all with a potential exposure are tested, thus ensuring that the virus can be contained. We are also engaging in targeted testing. About 2 weeks ago, we were all very concerned that the virus had entered several of our schools, forcing a premature closure in order to protect our children who are totally dependent on us for protection. Today, I have great news. Of the 6 schools implicated, 5 have been given the all clear thus far. These are the Sandy Point Primary, the Charles E. Mills Secondary, the Seventh-day Adventist Primary, the Washington Archibald High, and the Bastia High Schools. Indeed, this is comforting news. We are still conducting testing on persons associated with the Tyrrell Williams Primary School and will update you on the status as soon as those results are in. The fight to contain this deadly virus is not over, and we, all of us, need to play our part individually and collectively. After all, we're all in this together. A number of business places have been associated with the recent outbreak. For the safety and protection of the general public, 5 businesses were temporarily closed while we continue our contact tracing and testing. Now, while the decision to vaccinate is voluntary, the consequences of not being vaccinated and exposed to the virus affects all of us. Of the recent 49 cases, 41 are still active and 8 have fully recovered. 2 are very ill and hospitalized. We will keep them in our prayers as our doctors work around the clock towards their recovery. Important to note as well is that the majority of the recently infected persons were either not vaccinated or had only received 1 shot. I can't reiterate more. The vaccine is our best defense against COVID-19. It significantly decreases our risk of getting infected. It significantly decreases your risk of getting seriously ill and hospitalized. And it can prevent you from dying from COVID-19. This, in conjunction with our non-pharmaceutical measures of social distancing, hand sanitizing, and wearing our masks, is important, as the life you save could very well be your own. Remember, the virus cannot move without your help. As a result, there is a need to further decrease the viral transmission by further enforcement of the restriction on the movement of persons. To this end, the Cabinet has taken the bold decision, based on the current situation, to extend the curfew, which expires tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. The new curfew, which will be in effect from tomorrow, Tuesday, 8th June, will begin from 8 p.m. each night and end at 5 a.m. the next morning. This curfew will be in place for the next 2 weeks. I want to end by reminding you that the vaccine is our best shot at getting back to normalcy. Get vaccinated. Go out and get your first shot. Go out and get your second shot to be fully vaccinated and protected as we continue to march towards herd immunity. Thank you so much for listening, and may God continue to bless us all.